So yesterday we had a big Nintendo Direct presentation, and if you didn't watch my video on it, make sure you check it out after this one. But there was lots of cool announcements there. There was new games, surprise stuff, stealth drops, everything I like from a presentation. But one of the things I loved the most from this was, of course, the Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 collection being confirmed for the Nintendo Switch. I own all these games on a myriad of different platforms, but having all these games together on one compilation, being able to be played in handheld mode, now that's very attractive to me. Yes, you could play Metal Gear Solid 3 on the 3DS, or there's a weird Vita collection, but I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a higher quality. Now, we learned about more games that are going to be coming in this collection as well, beyond just the initial games that we learned about. We learned about some new features, some bonus stuff, and Nintendo Switch owners did learn something about the Switch version of the game that has them a little bit pissed off. So I want to talk about all this stuff. I want to talk about sort of the versions that we're getting, the new additional features, and why some Nintendo Switch owners are a bit mad at Konami right now. What else is new? But before we get into all of that, I want to give a huge thank you to today's video sponsor, PlayAsia. One of my favorite websites to shop on is PlayAsia.com. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what PlayAsia.com is, where have you been? If you're a fan of Japanese gaming, you should have this website bookmarked, as they have tons of Japanese games, figures, merchandise, and all that sort of stuff. But RGT, you don't really get down with all that sort of stuff, I thought. You're right, but I still do a lot of shopping on there because of the fact that systems nowadays are region free. A lot of video games come out in Japan physically that don't get North American physical releases, such as this, the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, consisting of all of the Ninja Gaiden remakes that came out on the Switch. I actually bought this off of PlayAsia.com because I wanted the physical copy that never came out stateside. Orders over $99 get free international shipping, and you know what? Since I like your face, I guess I can give you a little promo code here. Use RGT85 to get 5% off your order over $25, does exclude eShop cards and PSN cards. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to PlayAsia.com, tell them RGT sent you, and a huge thank you to PlayAsia for sponsoring today's video. Alrighty, so in case you've been living under a rock, this was initially announced during the PlayStation Showcase event after they showed off Metal Gear Solid 3's remake. They talked about this compilation, and during that compilation, we learned about 5 of the games coming in this compilation. I just said compilation a lot. Metal Gear Solid, the original game, is going to be included. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. All of which, of course, the original game was on the PlayStation 1. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 were on the PlayStation 2. Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, which were the original Metal Gear games that were available on the MSX home computer system, designed by Hideo Kojima himself. Now, as far as which versions of Metal Gear we'll be getting as far as the Solid games are concerned, we learned some additional stuff about that as well. With Metal Gear Solid, you'll be getting the original game, the VR missions, and the special missions. With Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3, you'll be getting the HD collection versions of these games. Now, I do find one thing kind of I kind of question it a little bit, is with the original Metal Gear Solid, you have to remember, when they did Twin Snakes, they changed a few things that might not seem like a big deal on the surface level, but it was something that actually went on with the series. One of the things being the pentazamine in the game was actually originally called diazepam, which is an actual sedative drug to sort of calm down your nerves. So I wonder if that is going to be in the game. And Mei Ling's voice actress in the Twin Snakes version of the game, they kind of like Americanized her, because in the original game she sounded very oriental, I guess you would say, but I think she sounded way better in the first version of the game. And I love hearing the bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. Like, there's just something that's comforting about that. So I do sort of question what this is going to be, because you got to remember, they haven't re-released this game like really ever. Like, I think there was a GOG version of the game, but beyond that, like, I don't know that this game has been re-released since, you know, since it initially came out. So I'll be keeping my eye on that, because I want to see sort of what's going on with that. Now, beyond that, in the Nintendo Direct presentation, we learned about 2 more games that are going to be included. 2 games that really have no connection with the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but that is Metal Gear for the NES and Snake's Revenge for the NES. These were done without Hideo Kojima's blessing or anything like that. And he didn't even know that, like, Snake's Revenge was a thing. He didn't know that they were porting it to the Famicom either. So, like, that was very interesting to me. The fact that that is going to be included in this compilation. Like, is that going to be on all the platforms? Like, are there going to be NES games on the PlayStation 5? I mean, I guess that would be kind of cool. I do wonder, it does seem like these are going to be available on all of them. So I don't know. But beyond that, we also have some cool stuff, such as the digital graphic novel for Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2's digital graphic novel. So that's going to be video content that you download, and there is a digital soundtrack available with this as well. And you get a little bit of a rundown here of the original game. So if you're unfamiliar with them, you are learning about them and sort of what they mean for the franchise, what the stories were, how they all sort of coincide with each other. Now, what's cool about this is they also showed off some additional features that are going to be in the games as well, such as like in-game strategy guides, like concept art and stuff like that. I remember buying all of the Metal Gear Solid like strategy guides back in the day. Like, I had a massive collection. Like, I don't think you understand how big of a Metal Gear collection I had that I ended up selling off because I was a kid in a, you know, early 20s, and you need money to pay rent or something like that. You got to sell off some of that stuff. But that's going to be super cool to me. I love just sort of going through those sort of things, looking at these digital art books, looking at these digital, you know, strategy guides and stuff like that. Character profiles they showed off as well. I'm showing you the video kind of over and over again, so really wasn't leading up to much suspense or a big surprise there. But yeah, I thought that was super cool, and I'm very curious to see if they have it for all of the games. Like, do you have it just for the PS2 games? Like, they really just showed off Snake Eater in the trailer. I'd love to see it for Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2, and then, you know, the original MSX games. Hell, even the NES stuff. Why not? Go all out with this. I want everything you can throw at me here. So then why would Nintendo Switch owners be pissed off about this? This seems like a great compilation. Well, let's keep scrolling down here. This was something that a lot of people were wondering about. Now, there is going to be a physical edition of the game, as we can see here. Looks pretty. You know, I like it. I'll probably buy it. But it seems like there's not quite a lot of content on this cartridge. So you can get a physical version or a download version. It comes out on October 24th, 2023. I will probably get both of them. And you can see here, it comes with everything. So we have the digital screenplay book, digital master book. Okay, cool. So it does have it, and it does tell me that. Oh, that's awesome. And it has a digital book for Metal Gear Solid 2, Twin Snakes, or Metal Gear Solid 2, or Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. I can't friggin' talk. Talks about the bonus content as well. Early purchase, you can get 3 digital tracks, but here's some stuff here, kiddies. To enjoy all of the available content, game data must be downloaded. So you have to have an internet connection, 24.1 gig plus 30 gigs for bonus videos. Got to have a micro SD card, stuff like that. So here's what's front loaded onto the cartridge is 2.4 gigabytes. Let's bring that in a little bit. 2.4 gigabytes. So there's like nothing on the cartridge. So the physical version, you have to download roughly 22 gigabytes of stuff, and they break down kind of how they are positioned here. So like Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection version is 4.8 gigs, and then with the other stuff, that's with the other games, because those are 1.4 gigs, 8 gigs, 12 gigs, 31 gigs for bonus content. This isn't very well optimized. So essentially what this means is your physical version of the game is kind of pointless, because you're going to have to download a large variety of stuff. Now, my position on this might surprise some people. I don't care. Granted, it would be nice to have it all on the cartridge. It would be nice. But they don't know how to optimize anything, obviously, because these file sizes are ridiculous. You got to remember, Tears of the Kingdom was a little over 16 gigabytes, and that game's freaking massive. And we're talking about a PlayStation 2 game coming in at, well, what was it? Hold on. What was it? 12.2 gigabytes for Snake Eater. Like, come on, bro. Come on. But beyond that, I think people are really putting too much stock into physical products in 2023. Just, you know, what they're going to be capable of in the future. You know, will you really be able to play all these games that you have? You know, there's so many games that require downloads, additional downloads. I buy NBA 2K every year. That's a massive download. I'm just not going to worry about it. You know, I could get really mad about it. I could get really upset about it. I could let it ruin my experience with these games, but I don't know. Like, just that the fact that these games are coming out again, the fact that these games are actually coming out on the Switch, like, I think we have to take that as a big win. You know, yes, you can be upset that it's, you know, not all on the cartridge, but obviously, you know, if it's 24 gigs just for the games, like, they were never going to use a 32 gigabyte cartridge. Nintendo, you know, Nintendo did that and they charged us $70 for Tears of the Kingdom because they had to have the additional room on there. Like, you know, it sucks. It sucks, but it comes down to the physical medium that Nintendo is using that, you know, it's not very conducive to these third-party companies to highly optimize their stuff to fit on a cartridge. I wish they were, trust me, but I'm okay with it. You know, it is what it is. I'm still gonna buy the Switch version. I'm not gonna boycott it because it's not on the cartridge, but if they could have put at least one freaking game on there, like, that would have been nice. So use a 16 gig cartridge. You could have put Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2 on there. Make me download Metal Gear Solid 3. It's gonna sell. The collection is gonna sell, and I will make damn sure it sells, but it is a bit disappointing. I understand your concerns, but for me personally, I'm able to look past it. But are you able to look past it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. Go check out the Nintendo Switch Direct video from yesterday if you haven't yet. And of course, huge thank you to PlayAsia for sponsoring today's video. Thank you guys for working with me. I hope we can work again because you guys are awesome. You're a super easy sponsor and you're good shit. It's good stuff. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.